Hi everybody, this is Elizabeth from Petals and Parchment. Welcome. Today we're going to discuss the challenge. It's going to be happening in my Facebook group, Petals and Parchment. And I wanted to show you real quick the kit that I'm going to be doing the challenge for is the Autumn Apple Adventure. This is just a few pages of the kit on a preview here to give you an idea of what the kit looks like, and you can find that on my Ko-fi shop right now. So the challenge that we're going to be doing today, we're going to be painting some watercolor apples for our journals, and this is a freebie that I'll have for you. There's some apple templates, and when you get them all cut out, they look like this. I had a really hard time drawing freehand apples to do this, so I made the template and then thought this would be a nice thing to share with everybody. So when I traced the apples onto some watercolor paper, this is what I came up with. So I've got a few large, medium, and small apples here, and we're just going to paint these and then make some designs on them, and this will be the challenge. So a few of the supplies that I have, these little watercolor brushes, and I have a really inexpensive watercolor set here. Looks like I already have some good red and greens ready to go. I've got a little bit of extra water, and of course I traced the templates on some watercolor paper, and I've just put down some plastic so that I don't ruin my, hopefully don't ruin my work surface here. Alright, so let's get started. I think I'm going to start with a green apple. So there's water in this brush. I'm just gonna start with a wet surface in the center of the apple and go from there, and make sure that I'm in frame here. I kind of want a light green to start, and then when that's a little dry, then I'll go back and add some darker elements to it, I think, to give it some highlights. But with the paper already being wet, you can see it's really easy to spread the paint around, and I'm not too worried about staying in the lines because I will be fussy cutting these out. And this is just kind of a really light yellowy green color that I want to get started there. Alright, that's about what I'll start with, and then you can use a brown color to paint the little stem up here. As I said, I'm not too worried about staying in the lines. I kind of want it to look a little messy. I like that look. So while that one's drying a little bit, I'm going to go for some red and do a large red apple. Whoops, I forgot to get this one wet first. Let's see what's gonna happen. Get some more water over here. I'm pretty new at watercolors, but I really enjoy them, and I haven't played with them in a really long time, so I thought this challenge is a good excuse to get my watercolors out. Add a little bit more water here. I wish I would have remembered to soak the apple first. So that's okay. We'll just play and experiment till we like the way that it looks. So alrighty, looking good. I'll go ahead and wet the next apple here, and then try to soak up. See here what happens if I just drop some pigment in the water and let it do its thing. Watercolors are so much fun. I never get to play with them. I'm such a busy busy person. I feel like I never get to play. So thank you for joining me today while I bust out the watercolors and have some fun. So what's going to happen is you'll find this template in the description box below, and you can just download it and print it and have some fun. And then come in the Facebook group and show us your apples that you made, and you'll be entered for a chance to win a free kit. The challenge will go for the next 2 weeks, so you have plenty of time. Oh, I really like how that one's turning out. Let's go back and add some darker red to this first one. Really love seeing all the artwork when you come to the Facebook group and you share your art. It's just so much fun to see what everybody does. Oh, this is nice. So I'm just putting a little bit thicker pigment on one side and just kind of dragging it through a little bit, not trying to cover up everything. Okay, I'm probably going to go back and add some darker green to the first one now. Like I said, I have never done this before and I'm just playing. So let's just have some fun. I keep forgetting I can squeeze this brush and add some more water, so I'm gonna do that. Try to blend in some of this darker green. I'm a novice watercolor painter, but it's just so much fun and it's really relaxing. Alright, let's go even darker here and see what happens if we just spread some more pigment, squeezing a little bit more water as I do that. Going to add some darker brown to the stem. It's nice to just play and have no expectations of the outcome, just enjoy the process. I've seen a few of the design team members posting their makes in the Facebook group of their Autumn Apple Adventure journals so far, and they are really knocking it out of the park. So be sure to come take a look at those. I really like a lot of the elements of the kit. There's some like quilted looking pages, and there's also a lot of recipes that were like handwritten, really old recipes. And whenever I do like a fruit kit, I like to include recipes to go with it. So far I've done strawberries and this apple one. I'm probably gonna do a lemon one next summer. My daughter and I just went apple picking recently. There was a person in our local Facebook Buy Nothing group who needed to get folks help to pick some of the apples. Their tree was just exploding with apples, so my daughter and I went and we climbed a ladder and got a bunch of apples together and made a apple crisp, apple cobbler type dish, and it was so yummy. I was like, I need to make a kit for this. It was delicious. For those that don't know, I'm actually a chef by trade. I was in the food industry for a great number of years of my life and went to culinary school and the whole thing, and had my own food truck business in Denver, where I'm from, and was working in restaurants as a chef for many, many years. And I don't do that anymore, but every once in a while I like to cook still. My husband probably wishes a lot more than I do. Poor guy. Okay, so just going in here and coloring where I feel like it, just alternating between red and green apples, squeezing some water on there, not being too particular, just seeing what happens. Ooh, I like that one. I just filled it all up in one swoop. That was kind of fun. I think I'm gonna try to do that again. Make sure that you're in frame here. That was really fun. So I just took up a bunch of pigment on my brush and then just squeezed water and spread it around. And as you can see here, it's just kind of pooling right there, so I'm guessing it'll be dark in that one spot, which I'm really liking that effect. So I think I'm going to do that for the rest of them. Hopefully they all look a little bit different where the paint decides to settle like that. So let's try with the red here. This is a really bright red apple. Ooh. Boy, I probably have enough paint on this brush to do this one. That's gonna be a bright red one. So next step after I get these all filled in, and just add a few more dark spots here and there to highlight some areas. I'll pause the video briefly and go dry this and then come back, and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, be right back. Okay, so I'm back after drying it, and I did have a little mishap where my pooled watercolor paint sort of blew across the page, but I'm just gonna roll with it. I think if you have a mishap and the colors blend together, don't panic, because once we cut these out, they'll still look pretty awesome. So just trust the process and don't freak out. I'm going to cut these out and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back, and as you can see, I've cut the apples out, and I think they turned out super cute. Even the one that got kind of smeared with the red on accident looks pretty awesome. I think that's a natural sort of look for an apple that you would find, those ones that are sort of red and green. So yeah, I'm really happy with how these turned out. And so the next step that I wanted to show you, I just grabbed a few items to decorate them with. This is completely optional, but I got some red and green ink here, so I thought I would do like a little stencil design down the side here, just to give it a little contrast and interest. Let's see, I need to find the correct tip here. So I think I'm gonna do squares down this one. Let's see if this works. Make sure that I'm in frame here. Oh, ended up getting the circles and the squares, so that looks kind of neat. Let's see what else I could do. I've got this Tim Holtz stamp here, so I think I'll try some of these. Get my water out of the way here. Some of these X's on the top, see how that turns out. I'm on a bit of a stencil kick lately. I really love playing with stencils. Let's try a red one. Let's see. Real red. Stampin' Up! Real red. Let's see. So I've never showed this before, but I've got all of my little dauber tops or what have you, and I've got, I don't know if you can see, but I've got them all labeled underneath, and then in the front I have my Stampin' Up! Colors, some archival ink, and then this side is for Distress Oxide, so I kind of keep them separated and don't get them mixed up. I'm not sure that I've used Real Red before. Let me double check. Nope, Rose Romance. So I actually need a brand new one for Real Red. Just double check. Yep, that's pink. And Festive Berries. Okay, so Real Red. I'm going to do some lines at an angle on this one. See how that looks. That didn't turn out quite like I imagined, but there's some interest there. Here's the circles and squares, and I think this is my favorite so far, the X's on the green. So another thing I thought would be nice is to take some of these sticky flat-backed pearls and try those somewhere. Maybe just one. Put my inker down. Okay, so that's pretty cute. Not sure if you can see. There we go. That's cute. Let's see what else. Oh yes, I did bring my white jelly roll pen, so we could draw. I have another stencil that I wanted to try. I'm gonna move these ones that I've done already out of the way. And I'm going to use my jelly roll here, see what happens. Oh, that looks nice. I think I'm gonna just repeat that a few times over the whole apple, facing different ways. One thing I did forget to say before I cut out the apples, I did trace around them with like a black fine tip pen, and I just did wonky lines, and then I also kiss cut the apples, so I tried to leave a little white border around the whole thing. So yeah, I'll probably just try to color in these stenciling marks a little bit darker with white. You could also use Posca pens, would show up really well. Let me grab one of those. Let's see, how about just some polka dots with the Posca pen? How does that look? That looks more like a strawberry, doesn't it? Oopsie. Well, no mistakes, only opportunities to learn something, right? We can save it if we just keep working on it. try to get it to not look like a strawberry. Let's see, what else could we do? We can, sticking with this Posca pen, I'll try a flower on the stencil. Sometimes you gotta get them going. So I'll probably continue to play with these. I think this video's been long enough and will give you kind of an idea of how to go about doing the challenge yourself. So once again, you'll just download the freebie underneath this video and cut them out and have fun doing watercolor apples, and come show us in the Facebook group what you make so that you have a chance to win a free kit. Thanks for joining me, everybody, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.